Coach, the spring is about teaching, assessment, schemes. How do you rate your Clemson football team today?
Well, I think we're on schedule. We got a lot of work to do, and you know, anytime you split the team up, there's going to be some give and take. But you know what? I think they're competing hard, and I really like some of the young guys that we're going to have to count on. I mean, I love what I'm seeing out of our backup quarterbacks. I think you're seeing some of those young backup receivers, Peak and Bryant. Some of those guys step up, and I'm encouraged with some of the things I'm seeing from a guy like Grady Jarrett and Sean Williams, some young defensive linemen that's going to have to really play a big role for us. So I think it's a good competitive day right now.
Real quickly, I want to talk about the all-in ball. And I know talking quick with you, it doesn't happen. You're long-winded, but I need you to be quick. I want to know about the all-in ball. I was there last night. Kirk Herbstreit was there. It was awesome. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, that's our one big fundraiser that my wife and I do for our foundation. You know, we've just been tremendously blessed, and you know, I just believe that, you know, true success is what you make happen for others, not what you make happen for yourself, and that we should all be givers. And you know, I'm thankful for all the people that help us put that event on. And basically, what we do is we raise money and we give it away to a lot of very needy organizations and people, and just try to make a difference in people's lives. So. It's a lot of fun, and last night was no exception. It was a blast, and you know, a very, very successful event.
Okay, what was the book that we need to all put on our list? What was that?
The Go-Giver. It's one of the best books I've read, and it teaches us all the power of giving.
Thank you, Coach. They're going to make us start the game. Back up to you guys. I was just listening to the huddle, and it was Steve Labotsky talking to his offensive line saying there's two things I want you to pay attention to. That's cadence and take care of the football. Cadence, take care of the football. Back up to you, Dave.
All right, Angela, thank you.
Guys, the discrepancy was not illegal formations for Coach English. The discrepancy was, can you block below the waist on scrimmage kicks? The answer is no, you can't unless it's a pass play, which in fact it was a pass play, so they were able to block below the waist, and that's what the entire argument was about. Guys?
Angela, that's great information.
We've got Jacoby Ford, wide receiver for the Oakland Raiders. You had a great year last season, but what was it like watching Clemson win that ACC championship?
You know, it was like a dream come true. You know, I felt like I was actually still there. You know, that's just how much pride I still do have in this university. You know, I was just glad to see those guys go out there and not just take half of the division, but actually take the whole thing.
As you watch today and assess both sides and both teams, what do you see as the positives for Clemson going in the 2012 season?
I mean, I see a team that definitely knows what they want to do in the future, and I definitely know they have the right tools and all the right pieces, you know, to definitely get to where they need to be and to make another run at the ACC championship and actually go for a national championship. But, you know, all they have to do is stay focused, and I think that team is going to be good enough and strong enough. They're young, but, you know, they're definitely not young on that football field whenever they go out there. So I definitely think they'll be ready for next year. Well,
I know you have a lot of respect for your head coach, Dabo Swinney. You were at the All-In banquet last night. What did it mean to you to be able to be there for him and something that means so much to him?
You know, I'm just honored because every year he invites me back. And, you know, I always try to make it back every time. So, you know, just to, you know, be in his good graces and to be back and to come back and give back to the community and to give back to the fans and just to interact with the people like that. You know, regardless of where I'm at, either if I'm in Florida or California, to make that trip back, you know, I'm always grateful to be back.
Now, our producer, Anthony Early, is a huge Rangers fan, so he's like going nuts in the truck right now. He wants to know, when you do a touchdown, do you think maybe you can give like an A sign, like you guys can have something special going on?
Yeah, I'll probably give him like an A like that. I could probably do that.
Nice. Good work. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck this season. Thanks, Dave. Coach, a year ago we talked about Tanner Price, and you said it's so hard to ask a freshman to lead your team, but the scales have really tipped for him this year.
Well, I think a little bit of experience. We knew we had a great kid. You know, last year I didn't think Tanner played as bad as a supporting cast, and we got his receivers were helping him a little bit. We're protecting him a little better. He's a great kid.
Well, I don't know if that's dedication or just I was afraid I'd get caught if I turned the lights on. But it was something that it was an escape place for me. It was a place I could go, and I didn't worry about my family problems. I didn't worry about anything. It was just me and the ball and the goal. And that sounds corny, and I understand that. But Roy Williams is pretty corny itself. But it was a great place for me to hide. It was a great place for me to escape, and it was a great place for me to do something I loved.
Well, if you haven't figured it out yet, women love corny, Coach.
I hope so. One has for 36 years anyway.
Coach Smart, on that second media timeout, you asked your team to go crash the boards. How do you think they responded in this first half?
I thought we did better. I was impressed with our urgency on the defensive end. We need to come up with more of the loose balls. I thought they out-scrapped us from time to time, but our guys are fighting.
How special was it to watch Clemson win the ACC championship this year?
Oh, it meant so much. I mean, we haven't done it in 20 years, and I knew the emotion that those guys was going to, because we came very close to going there and having to lose. So to see them finally win it, it meant so much to not to just them guys, but to every player that ever put that uniform on, because this is where the championships belongs, right here in Clemson.
To hear that Chad Morris wants to have a more balanced offense in the run game, what does that mean to you as you look into this year in Clemson football, more balanced attack?
It means a lot, because now that goes throw your defense off. You know, everybody knows about the Sammy Watkins and they know about the Andre Ellingtons, but now it's going to be how can you defend it. And then the other guys, they coming along as well with the Sharon Peaks, and then the Mike Bellamy. So, you know, I'm definitely excited about these guys. You know, year 2 under their belts. You know, now they got a feel for how he want to do things, and with Ty's board, you know, calling the plays. You know, I'm very excited.
Well, there's a lot of people in this community that's very proud of you, not just for your wins, but for something else you've done in the community. I had the pleasure of going over to the Emily K Center yesterday, and it was awesome. Tell us a little bit about that and the history.
Well, the Emily Krzyzewski Center is named after my mom, and my mom passed away about 15 years ago, but it's to help inner city kids in Durham who are talented but have not been given the opportunities to develop their talents, especially in after-school programs. And so we try to educate and help about 115 kids every day, and help them with a scholarship program that takes them through high school. And now we have some kids going to college, and it's really a good thing. We get unbelievable amount of volunteers from our community and from Duke University, and these kids flourish in an environment which teaches them how to dream and do and achieve.
Coach, Candace Sevick started out with a hot hand early with 6 points. He hasn't scored since the 15-minute mark. What does your team have to do to find a little more rhythm offensively?
Well, we have to quit turning the ball over and trust each other. We're all wanting to bounce the ball instead of swing it and create some movement here. We have to have better movement this half.
Coach, thanks for being here. It was a long jog up those steps.
You could go in with our team. You look like you're in better shape than my guys running up here to this interview. You need to rest a little bit.
Well, I need to hit the treadmill too if I'm going to be in any kind of basketball shape. Something we want to talk about today is your newcomers. Now the big guy is Harrison. Tell us a little bit about him.
Well, he's an unbelievable young man. He's probably as focused, as driven, as disciplined as any freshman I've ever seen. And on top of that, he's very gifted, and he's been having some really good things going on in our preseason, but yet he's still a freshman. He goes up and down a little bit, too.
4 minutes to go, you asked your team to win that segment. The scoreboard reflects that. How do you rate their play?
Well, I take that last 4 minutes as a good sign. Still too many turnovers. I thought we were a little bit tentative early against the pressure, and against the zone, we've got to catch the ball.
All right, Coach, thank you. There are some more traditions down here on the field, and one of them is the eagle flying in. It's freedom. It's a tradition that took 12 years to happen here at Georgia Southern because they had to find an eagle with flight capability. He flies into the stadium. He lands on trainer Steve Hines' arm. Well, what's it like watching the offense that you're going to be a part of here in just a few weeks? What do you think about Chad Morris's balanced attack, running the ball more, and how will that affect your preparation?
It's going to be hard for defense to prepare for. You know, we have so many weapons on offense. We got a talented quarterback, talented receivers, and a talented running back. And the offensive line, they're coming along pretty good this spring, and they're getting better each day.
Keep an eye out for Garrick Williams, number 74, the center for Wake Forest. He came out the first series with a tweaked right ankle. They taped it this last series. They put 3 rounds of tape on the outside of his shoe. Also, number 80, Andrew Parker, the tight end. He is out until the half. He also has a right ankle injury that they will look at during halftime, Dave. During that first media timeout, Shaka Smart told his team, I want you to stay aggressive. The second point was eliminate Georgia Tech getting into the lane. Now, since that first media timeout, the aggressiveness has certainly increased, and also they've only allowed the Yellow Jackets in the lane 4 times since that first media timeout. Like you said, John, Troy did come off the field under his own power. That's number 32, Troy Eastman. He's being evaluated. It does not look like he's going to re-enter the ball game. They're putting ice on his right leg right now. They will evaluate at halftime, but it does not look good for number 32, Troy Eastman.